Now this may be a little bit controversial, but I really wanted to talk about it anyways. So the anoa'i family, the Fatu family, the Bloodline family, whatever you want to call them, and all the nepotism surrounding them, it's really getting annoying now because it's way too out of hand, man. It's really getting way too out of hand. Because like there's so many wrestlers coming from this family that are not even good. They're not even good wrestlers. They're not good in the ring. They're not good on the mic. Or maybe they're average in the ring or average on the mic. But people glaze them, you know, whether it's the fans or the company itself, they glaze them like they're future goats or something. Like look at Jacob Fatu for example. Ever since he debuted, all I've been hearing is Jacob Fatu this, Jacob Fatu that. Oh, he's so good at this, he's so good at that. But ever since then, I've not seen this guy have a single great match or cut a great promo. Every single match, every single promo this guy's had, everything feels the same. But still, he's one of the most protected guys on the roster, and he gets pinned once in an eternity. Like, come on, man. This guy's just not that good. But if it was anybody else with the same ability as Jacob Fatu, the same in-ring ability as Jacob Fatu, the same mic ability as Jacob Fatu, if it was anybody else, they wouldn't even be in this position. They wouldn't be, getting the no-selling gimmick. They wouldn't be main eventing SmackDowns, no-selling Randy Orton's signature moves. They'd just be stuck in catering as a lower mid-card jobber or something. I don't even know. Because other than being a part of the family and being a Fatu and all that stuff, there's nothing about Jacob Fatu that warrants skipping NXT and being immediately put on the main roster in the top stories along with the top guys like Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. But no, because he's a Fatu, let's have him completely skip NXT and put him in the main roster immediately so we can milk the Bloodline story for another 3 years. Get out of here, man. And Jacob Fatu's not the only one. How about Solo Sikoa? This guy, at least unlike Jacob Fatu, he was in NXT. But he was in NXT for only about a minute, man. They called this guy up before anybody else and immediately put him in the top faction and in the top stories and main eventing SmackDowns every single week. And on top of that, he was booked like he was the strongest guy in the roster. Cause tell me, why is this dude running through Sheamus and Drew McIntyre when they're both clearly stronger than them? Like it makes no sense, it's just stupid as hell. But of course, because he's part of this family, he immediately gets shot up into the top spot. And I'm only talking about how he was booked a little after his debut. Let's talk about 2024 and how forced he was as a main eventer. This guy spent the whole year being in the main event. For what? For what, man? What does this guy have to offer? There's nothing about Solo Sikoa that warrants being in the main event. Nothing. His mic skills are straight trash. He's never cut a good promo in his life. Ever. And you're telling me this is a dude that beat John Cena clean? Like, get out of here, man. This is what I'm talking about. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu have been getting these opportunities that they clearly are not ready for. They're opportunities that some people would work their whole careers for. And Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu just get it immediately after they debut. And one of them just skipped NXT. Like straight up skipped NXT. And neither of them are good enough to warrant that. At least these two are the better examples, especially Jacob Fatu. The better examples. How about we talk about JC Mateo and Tonga? What the hell have these guys even done to get signed, huh? There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that these two have to offer, especially JC Mateo, because we've been seeing him since April or May, I'm not even sure, but he's not done anything since then. He's been around for months, but he hasn't done anything. That just goes to show you that he has nothing to offer. None of their matches have been good, none of their promos have been good, if any, if they've even cut any promos. They have nothing to offer, so why did they even get signed in the first place? Or better yet, why did they completely skip NXT and get to the main roster immediately? Or better yet, why are they already main eventing main roster shows? Why? They're not that good. But that's the thing, you can be the most mediocre wrestler imaginable. You're still gonna get the top spot, you're still gonna get to the main roster immediately, as long as your last name is Fatu or anoa'i. It's just sickening, man. It's absolutely sickening. And if you're even a little bit better, a little bit above average, like Jacob Fatu for example, you get glazed to death. Cause tell me, what has Jacob Fatu done that's extraordinary? Nothing. He just gets booked like that. He just gets booked like he's unstoppable. Like why? Why? Not everybody's Umaga. They try to copy paste the same gimmick to everybody, like Solo Sikoa when he first debuted, and now Jacob Fatu, and now JC Mateo, and maybe even Tonga soon. Like everybody's the same, man. Everybody's the goddamn same. They have the same moveset, they cut the same kind of promos, they play the same kind of character, and of course, all of them are treated like rip-off Umagas. And speaking of Umaga, you got bums like Zilla Fatu who are mediocre as hell. The definition of mediocre in the ring. And I'm being generous here because this guy's trash in the ring if I'm being honest. If this dude gets signed by WWE and gets the treatment that all these guys have been getting, I'm done, man. I'm done with this. Like, come on, that's just crazy. I would be okay with this, I guess, if they were at least good wrestlers. These are not good wrestlers, man. None of these guys are good wrestlers. Maybe I'll let Jacob Fatu slide, but that's just it. Nobody else. And of course, I'm only talking about the newer guys here. Let's talk about the older guys, like Jimmy and Jey Uso, for example. What are they doing now, huh? What are they doing now? Jimmy Uso, obviously he's not a main eventer, but he's still main eventing SmackDowns. He's still pretty much in the top spot, he's at least feuding with the Bloodline. He's on TV every week. He's featured pretty prominently. And Jey Uso is legitimately a main eventer now. Like, he's legit a main eventer. And here's the thing about both of them. Both Jimmy and Jey, they're not really good as singles performers, They've never really been that good. Ever since the Usos broke up, they haven't really had a great match or a great promo, especially Jey Uso. But, obviously, like I said, they're still featured pretty prominently. Especially Jey Uso, he's featured very prominently. And on top of that, like I said, even Sikoa, Tonga, and all those guys and everybody in the new Bloodline or MFT, whatever you want to call them, all of them are mid wrestlers, alright? If not totally trash. I'm just being generous here, Let's just call them mid wrestlers. Even Jacob Fatu, I'd say slightly above average, whatever. But they're still getting featured prominently. Even after all that, this son of a bitch, Rikishi, still has the audacity to go on his podcast and bitch about how poorly his family's being booked. Like, oh, look at this, guys. Look at us. This is how our family's being booked. This is how WWE views us. Oh my god, look at us, guys. Poor anoa'i's. Poor Fatus. Look at us. Oh my god, this is how WWE looks at us. This is how they view us. Like, shut up, man. Your son is god-awful at wrestling, every single aspect of wrestling, and he's the world champion. He was the world champion. He got a WrestleMania moment. He won the Royal Rumble. And like 90% of your family members in WWE are terrible in the ring, are terrible wrestlers, but they're still getting featured prominently. They're still getting the opportunities that people would grind all their careers for. There's like 7 or 8 of your family members that are featured prominently on WWE television. 3 of them used to be in your balls. Your own nutsack, and you still have the audacity to complain. Get out of here, man. Get out of here with that victim mindset. Be grateful. Be grateful that your son, who can't have a good match or cut a good promo to save his life, was given a Royal Rumble win and a WrestleMania World Title win. And like I said, I wouldn't have a problem with this if they were actually good wrestlers, if they were actually good in the ring, or maybe they were good on the mic. But most of these guys are none of those things. None of them. Jacob Fatu has not had a good match or a good promo in a year, but he still gets glazed and treated like the future of the company. They say that he's the future of WWE and stuff like that. Sikoa is a comedy character at best because he sucks at everything, but he's the US champion and gets featured prominently every single week. And everybody else from the MFT, I don't even need to explain, man. They all suck. They're all horrible. Just horrible. These are the guys that get all the opportunities handed to them on the silver platter immediately after they debut, while guys like Drew McIntyre and LA Knight, who've been grinding their asses off for the past year or so, or maybe 2 years, or maybe 3 years, I don't even know how long at this point, but they never get to have anything because everything is given to the goddamn Bloodline. Which is why I think this whole nepotism from the Bloodline and the anoa'i family, the Fatu family, it's going way too far and it's getting way too out of hand. Get out of here, man. But anyways, yeah, with that being said, that is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.